More than 170 humanitarian groups, including Oxfam and Save the Children, are demanding the immediate closure of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a controversial food distribution initiative backed by Israel and the United States. In a joint statement released Tuesday, the groups accused GHF of doing more harm than good, claiming it forces starving Palestinians into militarized zones, where they risk being shot while trying to feed their families. Palestinians in Gaza face an impossible choice: starve or risk being shot, the statement reads. The signatories say that in less than 4 weeks, over 500 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 4,000 injured, while attempting to access or distribute food. They allege Israeli forces and armed groups operating with official support are routinely firing on civilians in areas designated for aid distribution. These zones, set up by the GHF, are described as chaotic enclosures with single entry points, often scenes of mass shootings. Children are frequently among the dead and injured. Over half of the reported attacks, NGOs say, involved minors. This is not a humanitarian response, the statement asserts. It accuses Israel of dismantling the broader aid system in Gaza through its blockade and restrictions, replacing it with a deadly, military-controlled alternative that neither protects civilians nor meets basic needs. The humanitarian situation has deteriorated rapidly since Israel reimposed a near-total blockade over 100 days ago. With Gaza's infrastructure in collapse, families must now walk for hours through dangerous terrain to reach fenced food sites, only to return, if they survive, with meager rations they can't cook for lack of fuel or clean water. Hospitals are shut, ambulances grounded, bakeries dark. Many families shelter under plastic sheeting without electricity, sanitation, or medical care. The Sphere Association, which sets global humanitarian standards, warns that GHF violates key principles by forcing civilians into conflict zones. Aid workers say the scheme concentrates Gaza's population into confined areas under the pretext of aid, turning food into a weapon of war. The statement calls on governments to reject what it describes as a false choice between military-run aid and the denial of assistance altogether. It urges an immediate end to the siege and demands restoration of a UN-led humanitarian system, including UNRWA and Palestinian civil society. The organizations are also pushing for a sustained ceasefire, full humanitarian access, and accountability for violations of international law. In response, GHF defended its work, claiming to have delivered 52 million meals in 5 weeks. A spokesperson accused other agencies of standing by helplessly, while aid was looted, and rejected GHF's offer to help. Israeli authorities acknowledged that civilians have been harmed at aid sites and said they've updated field instructions. But they deny deliberately targeting Palestinians and say safety improvements, like new fencing and regulated access, are underway. Since the war's escalation in October 2023, Gaza's health ministry reports over 56,000 Palestinians killed, including 17,400 children. More than 133,000 have been injured. As hunger deepens, the debate over what constitutes aid and what endangers civilians continues to intensify.